Hey, what's up, Banana Split Virgin Gang? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good. Today's Boo Boo card day is none other than Quaxley AR from Triplet Beat. I like this card a lot. The Superior Starter in Scarlet and Violet also has the Superior Starter line, all the way up to Quackleval, actual perfection that was made onto card form. I like this one a good little bit. Just reminds me of me actually doing my hair in the morning, doing the whole little pomp that I can do sometimes. Just a nice little homage. I like the card, like the starter. It's one of those good ones. ARs lately have been killing it. Want to talk about something, so let me clarify real quick before I actually get into the topic. There is nothing ill-mannered or about this topic or about the person I'm about to say with this actual item. I'm not doing this to do anything ill. I just want whatever this is to be verified. I'm just going to leave it at that, and I'll kind of start talking. So something popped up on feed. I saw where people were talking about an actual card, right? So right here, we have PokeStory87 over here on Instagram, and they're telling a story right here. I'm going to just read this out for you. As you can very clearly see, looks like a sketch on a card, and it was signed by Kin Sugimori. This is the dude that did the original base set Blastoise. Absolute OG, absolute legend when it comes to Pokemon artistry, and has done so many influential cards that so many people hold in high regards, especially when it comes to the artist, the autograph, and just any of those different communities where they talk about said people making said art. So, want to read this real quick? Once again, this is not in ill manner. Do not go talk to this person in kind of any shitty way. I'm not doing that at all whatsoever. I just want it known, and I want this to get eyes on it so it can be verified. That's all this is. In 1999, Kin Sugimori, while in New York at the hotel where he was staying at in Manhattan, the seller's father worked security there and was with Sugimori while he was out here. The setting, it was intimate, and it led to the seller's father getting a personalized sketch on a small blank card in pen and in watercolor and signed by Kin himself as a gift, and a kind gesture also included as a postcard. The precision of the artwork and watercoloring aged on the blank card, along with the auto precision in both kanji and English, has solidified the authenticity of this absolute grail in my eyes. So this person purchased this from a seller, and I'm not going to go into full details. I have the details if I need to go into it. The whole point of this is to get eyes on it and to kind of take bias out of this stuff, right? He has this card. He's claiming that this card is authentically signed by Kin Sugimori. He's saying the actual kanji, the actual signing itself looks authentic. It's good enough for him. There you go. Cool. Bada bing, right? It does look like it's got a little bit of age and color to it. I'm not going to dispute that at all whatsoever. The problem here, and this is what I will say about this, is there are people who brought to our attention where they have the same signature next to actually verified signatures from Kin Sugimori, and it has some discrepancies to it. It basically does not look like the same dude's signature. Like, some things look kind of the same, but some things kind of don't. People's signatures can change. I'm not saying that it has to be 100% perfect, but the biggest thing that people are saying looks like kind of fake about that is going to be the kanji. The kanji itself doesn't quite look correct with this whole thing. Maybe it was just the small size of the card. Maybe it was just the actual setting. I'm not really too sure. But there's just several things where it just doesn't quite look the same. The S is not being kind of the same. The actual kanji not being put the same. The R and the I at the very end of Sugimori not being quite the same. There's enough here where people think there's a discrepancy where this could actually not be a thing. So for authenticators looking at stuff, I have this picture right here. For anybody who wants to reach out to said person, reach out to them in good faith. This is not to do anything mean to them. This is to get eyes on this stuff. And the reason I want to get eyes on this stuff to see if it's valid or not, and once again, I have more details if I need to go into it, is this hobby is getting more expensive and more mainstream by the day, which that's not necessarily a bad thing. But a lot of people put a lot of money and a lot of time here. The autograph community has gone and met with all the artists, whether good or bad or ill-intentioned or anything like that. There's a lot of people who have signatures out there that have love and care from the artist putting that stuff, okay? Stuff like this, if it is existing and it is fake, not only is it disingenuous and can cause someone to get burned, it is a massive disrespect to said artist. This is massively disrespectful to forge their signature and try to put out something like this to possibly make some money. There was a sale here. I'm not really too sure how much the sale went for. I guess the seller said if they don't think that it's like real or something, they can get a refund. It's not really the point. The point here is this stuff is just getting harder and harder for people to actually just justify these prices if it's not authentic. Look, disingenuous signatures, I don't care about your fucking feelings, okay? If you think it's a good sentimental thing, if you think they're happy, if you think all, like, you can take all that bullshit and go write it on a goddamn Reddit post. I don't give a fuck how you feel about any of this stuff. The only thing I care about is if this is real or if this is not. If this is real, this is an awesome piece of history for the artists themselves. This is not my specialty, okay? I don't know that much about specific things about artists. There are several people here who are way bigger authorities on that whole thing. That's the whole point of this video, is to get that out there. I don't give a fuck how you feel about this situation, okay? Look at these. Tell him how you genuinely feel, and if someone is a legitimate authenticator of this stuff, Get this shit looked at and have them determine whether or not this is real, of course, if the person is wanting to. But you can look at this stuff right here, man. There's no fucking excuse for anybody to just be selling stuff. The reason why this stuff bothers me is if this goes unchecked. I'm not saying said person's going to do it on Instagram, but eventually down the line, this shit's going to get resold and resold. And then eventually, if this is fake, say it does actually end up in front of like an authenticator or something, they're just like, yo, man, how much did you pay for this? I paid $20,000 because this is a authentic Ken Sugimori signed card, man. Like, he did this original watercolor and like turns out it's fake. That's just going to burn someone in the hobby, man. And we've seen this before with sealed product being vintage. We've seen this before with fake proxy cards. Look, custom cards, if you want to do that stuff, and you want to be perfectly upfront about custom cards, perfectly fine. Actual proxy cards where they're designed to look and feel like real cards, but they're not real cards, just to fucking burn kids and actually get them to fucking buy your fake stuff, does not need to exist here. That's my personal opinion. No fucking room for proxy cards here. No fucking room for fake ass signatures. It's disrespectful to the artist. I don't give a fuck how you feel about it, okay? I don't care. Go write somewhere on a Reddit post about it. I don't give a fuck. Just, is this real or is this not? I know someone here has the capability to look at this stuff, or maybe knows somebody who can get in touch with said person and hopefully figure this stuff out. But like, we're not playing this game where people can just spend an ungodly amount of money in Pokemon and we're just going to have this stuff float around, potentially be fake, and not have this stuff looked at when they're posting stuff publicly. Sorry, ain't happening anymore. Blame the state of the hobby. Blame how much everything costs. I don't care. Here it is. No ill intention to said person. Once again, if you are coming at this person illy, you do not have my blessing or anything to do that, because that's not the point of this. Respectfully, we just need to make sure that this stuff is real so this doesn't get resold as authentic. Whether they view it good faith or good sentiment, I don't really give a fuck. I'm sorry. That's not how I care about this stuff. We're not having stuff floating around and be fake, okay? If it's real, that's freaking awesome. What a great find. I really do think that that's a good thing if it is real. I'm not the right person to make that call. There's other people out there who can, okay? That's all I got. Appreciate you. Just once again, go at this respectfully. Help them out if you can. Just, we're not floating around with fake stuff possibly out there, okay? Not with how much this hobby costs. Not with the amount of bullshit that happens here. Not with the amount of bad people that pretend to be Pokemon fans here. See you, virgins.